So my story has played in a lot of faces, the truth, the untruth, and all of that. So it is not new. But I would try as much as possible to use my story, the survival journey, to talk to a lot of you out here. And I told Adwoa specifically that I want to dwell on the bullying we get as women. I've experienced bullying so much that it is one of the things that I would always want to talk about when it comes to childbirth and bullying. The subtle ones are also there. So let me start gradually before I even get to the subtle ones that we hear even in churches. But let's start the story from the beginning. I've put together, I think, about 5 W's, and whilst I talk about them, I would use myself as an example whilst narrating them. I don't know how many of you here are looking for children or are looking for a child, but I know that the Bible says that children are heritage from the Lord, and so no matter how long it tarries, it will happen, and it will take you for it to happen. That is what you have to understand. It will take you for it to happen, no matter what the doctor says. So let me just tell you first what I put down. And doctor, with your permission, I said to myself that, ask them, what is actually wrong with you? Have you been diagnosed or you have diagnosed yourself? So the first question is, what has a doctor told you? What have they said to you? Did they say to you that it is not going to be possible? If that is the case, what are you saying to yourself? Because me, I don't know, I think Adwoa knows me, I am a fervent believer, I'm a staunch Christian, like you can't do anything. Me, the Bible says children are inheritance from the Lord. What are you saying to yourself? If the doctor had even said that, oh, it's not possible, it's not this, it's this, what are you believing? We sing every, whose report will you believe? We shall believe the report of the Lord. His report says, but you are not believing the report of the Lord. When they used to call me all those names on social media and all of that, I used to say to myself that, it will tire you, but me, my flaunty and I really flaunted. I have pictures I've not posted. Though. Me mamu time kakra. And you see, in believing the reports, and it's okay to say, the doctor will tell you this is the problem. What is the solution? They might give you the solution. Or sometimes the solution is not what you want to hear. But take that thing with you and go before God. Oh. So, when you take that message with you, those who have been there and they say, oh, this cannot happen, when you get into your closet, whose reports will you believe? What are people saying? People are saying, and that ben obewo, and unio, and what consider IVF, what consider IUI, what consider what. See, I've heard a lot of things that me, I don't even know. I didn't know there was IUI. I don't even know what it means though. There was a time in my life, that altar call for children. My friends would say, hey, now Gloria won't call. I stopped going for altar call for kids. Me and call. Hey, Gloria won't call. Hey, someone can come and tap you. Gee, won't call. In that case, I asked myself, or stray me and I say, but sometimes also, genuinely, they care. They care. Let me tell you what happened to me across over 2023. There was a lady in my church who was heavily pregnant. She brought her tummy to me, and she wrapped her tummy on my tummy and says, next year by this time, it will be your turn. Before I'm coming, you see, it gets to a point when you yourself begin to tell yourself things, and you, before I'm coming, no. But at that point, I said, amen. So, talking about the subtle things that people do, it is the way I realize it's the way you are reacting to it that becomes the reality. How are you reacting to it? So that if the person is even shading you, no response, no. I was ready to start having kids. I told Adwoa, I said, my doctor says, ovulate. I had to go on ovulation medication. I took it twice. Dr. Ato gave me that twice. The second one, the first time I started trying from December. It didn't happen in December. It didn't happen in January. It didn't happen in February. I think it happened in March, but I discovered in April. I was 4 weeks gone when I checked in April. And when I took, for the second time, that ovulation tablet, there was one NSPPD we did, and after I said, this is the last time I'm taking this tablet. I am not taking this tablet again. And that was it for me. One day, I just woke up with my mantle. I did my own praise and worship session for 30 minutes on my own. Oh. I danced, sang. So all through my pregnancy, you know what I was doing? When I go to, they say, your baby is not 10, he's not doing it. I say, God, I've already praised and worshipped you for this child. I won't hear any bad news. So what are you doing is the question. What are people saying and what are you doing? People are saying to you, say, oh, I want to be over, and I want, and I want. What are you doing? Where is your faith? Who is that faith in? They used to say, and let me give you an example of how people talk. They used to say, oh, and now when I just give it, say, oh, the Ben will second one. So the thing is that anybody can say anything to you, but what are you saying to yourself? And what are you doing towards what you are looking for? You cannot say that you are looking for a child. And so, every time I didn't even used to calculate this. It's funny how now I know how serious it is to calculate. Say, me ovulate time way, me ovulate. When you're ovulating, you can't put your inside your demiframe and be ovulating. You have to do the work. When I was ready to have a baby, like I said, I took the ovulation drugs 2 times. And I don't know whether it's funny to say this. We did the do every day. I mean, that window that I said this is the every day. And I pray that if you already have partners, you have kind partners. Kind partners that would understand that this is the cost we have. Because some people will say it feels like work. But if the person is kind enough, people say you're not in this alone. So, my own is, no matter what people are saying to you, you have the right to say to yourself what you want to see and how you want it to go. And as much as possible, close your ears. Because sometimes, you see, like when I was giving the narration of people in church, you don't see them every day. And you can avoid them, actually. So you will not look for them. Oh, me, you're gone. But your inner circle, your friends. Hey, Gloria, and unfortunately for me, my kid sister had 2 boys. They are 7. They'll be 7 this December. She had twin boys. So my external family can call and say, oh, and this one has given birth to you, that you are the senior, no? And you have not. If you don't take care, the child will not come again, no, because you'll be fixated on your nephews and you might not be able to have your own because Eya will say, Nkola will fie. And so it got to a time I don't pick calls like that. I had a cousin who say, oh, I know somebody who at how many ever are there? At damachina, at damachina, at danamachilo. It says a person, I hope if I say it in Chi will sound, or ben near drama, or near dropa umpe. When she calls, it might be out of goodwill. But you see, the more they keep telling you, there's a pressure. So, everybody said, I'm so, you ready. So, these are the few things that I'll share with you, with my story in mind. The bullying will not stop. People will call you names, but are you accepting the names that they've called you? I see, when I said, oh, people called me Barry, someone said, nobody called. I can, me DM chair, now me type Barry to so you see the messages. And if you have the means to speak to people, please tell them to be kind to us, especially the men. Be kind to women. Na awo no obetimi akofa wo baby anka wakofa de enya wo kra na wo beka. Now who says women don't want to have, except okay, there are people who don't want to have children, but why no person occur through sa atiti no? Nobody wants to go through that, the name calling and all. So nim say akola no or ha metimi akofa shemefuma oba akofa. She's helpless. You can't even make it worse for her by allowing people to call her names. By allowing your inner circle, hey, it's anything I want to mean. Would you na woman? Woman, when you na bejai. And woman, be kind to your fellow woman, because now saying they are a competition. Muna mudi try home and ma would 3 uti hana ya would 3 and now they won't back home. Hey sister, if I had a DM, somebody say stop wearing heels. You wear too much heels. Yes, I had a DM. And you know, that person had the guts to come and tell me after I had given birth, I told you stop wearing heels. When you stop wearing the heels, have you seen? Yes, it's in my DM. And I said to her that I think you didn't follow because I kept wearing heels until I didn't want to wear anymore. This is a fellow woman who named the Ayemi. Who said no and said, when whom say, oh, so you have, and people would do. So I can even imagine people that we get to interact with, we cry the onim you and then obi onim dear. So woman, please be kind to your fellow woman. Me the bullying is what is key for me, because as for Akolandi obeba, let the bullying stop, let the name calling stop in church, in schools, in people who even say they are godmothers. Sincerely, I don't think all of them say it out of malice, but I think we should learn, to say silent prayers for people than to be telling them these things. Oh, me dem don't be like me. Don't be like me. Be quick, and you don't know what the person is going through. Say emba is 2 things. That depending on pairness or emba. No emba na usan kasa asem we trainer. How do you expect the person to have a sound mind on their daily? So as I know that they are covering these things, that's why I'm saying as much as possible, let's be kind to our fellow woman. Say a silent prayer for them if you can. If you cannot, just keep assuring them. Say ebeba. Ebeba, it doesn't take anything away from you. Say akolano obeba dudu. Obewo. I think that's all I have to say. But I'm sure that it's touched somebody's heart. Again, akolane die obeba, but what are you doing with yourself? You will give birth. You are the one who matters. What you do with yourself during the waiting period, what you do with what you hear during the waiting period, how you handle what you hear during the waiting period is all that matters. Thank you.